Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first graphic design tutorial with me, welcome. As always, if you guys like the videos I'm dropping, please leave me a like down below, subscribe to my channel, and ring that notification bell so you can get notified when I drop new content. So for today's tutorial, we are going to be doing just a quick walkthrough on making a simple 10 photo slideshow in Adobe Rush. So in our screen here, we have Adobe Rush open. It'll show you the previous projects you've worked on. Now these projects you can sort either by date modified or project name, and then in ascending or descending order. You can also look through help, learn, and community, which are things from Adobe. So we're going to click on create new project, and this is where you'll create the project. So you can give it a name, and then you go through your folders and you can actually select the items. So I'm going to go into my hard drive here and look for some of my landscape photography. I have a lot of folders, so it may take us a minute to get through. So I'm actually going to go into this Long Beach Island photo, and we're going to scroll through, and I am going to pick just 10 photos from the start of the sunrise that I took. So these are photos from a couple years ago. Now when you found what you want to include, you can just click and it'll select one, and as you see the numbers appear, that's the order that the photos are going to appear when we after we click create. So I'm just going to pick 10 photos. Now if you have a folder with either a lot of photos or you want to include all of them, you can always just hit Control A and that'll select all of the photos. So once you click create, it will then pull all of those folders and prepare the media, and it will actually put it in order for the slideshow. So all of our photos are there. You can do a quick playthrough to see how the photos all go. This is only about 24-ish seconds, 24 and a little more seconds long, which for a photo slideshow, it doesn't need to be super long, but if you're doing something for an event, whether it's an anniversary party or an engagement party, it may be a little longer. Now in Adobe Rush, we also have different tools that we can use. So on the side, we have graphics, effects, color, speed, audio, and then crop and rotate. So these are the different tools that you can use on the actual media in there. So for crop and rotate, you can change how the image fills or fits into frame. You can do this using the sliders below, or you can just click fill and fit. So let's say I wanted to have all of the photos, the full thing, as its original size, I would do that. But for this one, I actually want to keep the photos full screen, so I'm just going to click undo at the top and go all the way back so that it fills up the full frame. You also have the ability where you can add a feather to the edge, and these sliders work just like when we did the Lightroom tutorial. You can just click and drag or type in the number. So I'm happy with the size of these. So I'm actually going to click on effects, and this is where you can put the transitions in. So when you pick the transition you want, you can just click and drag it over to the in-between of the two photos. Now let's say you wanted the same transition for everything. You would click Control A to select all of them, and then select the transition you want to use, and it automatically, every break from a photo, so every stop for a new photo, it puts that transition in. Of all the transitions that are there, I think the dissolve is my favorite because it's the cleanest and it doesn't necessarily look strange. Now if you wanted to add audio, you would go up to the blue circle with the plus sign, and here you can add more media, add new, other graphics, audio, or even voiceover. So let's say you were doing that slideshow for an event and you wanted to have a voiceover with the slideshow. You can easily do the voiceover in Adobe Rush and record it right there. So what I am going to do is I'm actually going to look through some of the audio that we have. And one of the things when you click audio, it actually gives you a full stock library from Adobe on what song to choose or what songs you can choose. So I'm going to select audio, and it has soundtracks, sound effects, and loops. So I am actually going to take a look at soundtracks. And one thing that's really great with this audio library is it gives you the ability to listen to snippets of the song before you actually choose it. So I'm actually going to pick this one called Next to Me. And you want to make sure that the cursor for the slideshow is all the way at the beginning before you click add. Now, as you can see, this song is a lot longer than my slideshow, so I can always shrink the size. So I'm going to open this up a bit, and when you see the red cursor, you can then click and drag to shorten the audio to the length of your soundtrack. And then you can go and you can play it, test how it sounds. For this one in particular, it actually got to a point and there was some actual words to the song. It wasn't just an instrumental. So I didn't like how it got cut off at the end, and I wanted to include more of the lyrics. So what you can do is you can then, if you hit Control Z, it will undo the shortening of the song. So I'm going to shorten the beginning of it and then drag it all the way over back to the beginning of the slideshow, and then expand the bar again and shrink the end. So this gives me more of the lyrics. Now you're probably noticing how I moved the gray bar at the bottom. So this is a way that you can see the whole slideshow or just snippets of it as you're working on things. So we're going to go through and test it out to see how it sounds now that I've changed the audio again. And usually sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually end up listening to the full thing. If it's, under a minute, I will listen to it a couple of times to make sure it actually fits how I want it to. So at this point, I'm actually pretty happy with how this looks for just a quick, simple photo slideshow with music. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to click share. And this is going to bring you to where you save the video. One thing with Rush is you can actually publish it directly to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or Adobe Behance. So I just want to save this locally though. So I'm going to go into my folder and I'm going to create the folder for this tutorial. And that's going to be the folder where we save the final product. So then you'll click select folder and it'll have that. Then what you can do for file name is you can change the file name. So I am just going to call this, we'll call this Sunrise Slideshow. It does have a preview window, so if you want to make sure everything is good to go, you can play it again here. I'm not going to play through the whole thing again. There are also advanced settings. I haven't messed with these too much yet, especially if it's something really quick. But then you'll click export and it'll actually show you the full rendering process. Now at the bottom, you'll see where it says rendering video, and then you'll see at the end publish. So this part will only highlight, the publish part will only highlight if you're publishing it directly to YouTube. 9 times out of 10 though, I will always save the local file first before I publish it anywhere, because then I have a copy of it that I can look at before I publish it. So once you click done, it'll bring you back to the main window. And then you can go into your folder to see where you saved it and make sure that it's saved properly. So we'll go back in to the tutorial, and there's the video. And now here is the slideshow that we've created.
Is this all that you dreamed it'd be? Ending up here, ending up with me. Well, you could have gone anywhere, been anyone.
So as you can see, Adobe Rush is actually really simple to use. If you guys have any questions about Adobe Rush or any of the other graphic design tutorials I've done, or you have specific questions about graphic design or photography, absolutely leave me them in the comments. I'd be happy to help with those questions. I mentioned this in my unboxing video, that I am getting to the point with my parents selling our house that I'm going to be packing up soon, but I'm very hopeful that come this summer, I will actually be able to do some of these tutorials live for you via Twitch. So there will be more information coming on that soon. But as always, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you next time.